Welcome back, sports fans. Hope you enjoyed that segment with Chingy Burnett. We're joined now by Andy Villamarzo. Talk about the District 9 Class 5A race. Hernando team's going into the playoffs here. See what he's got to say. So let's just start right off. The District 9 race. The game we're watching right now is really going to be pivotal in that. What are your thoughts, kind of wrapping the season up here?
Well, if Zephyrhills wins tonight over Nature Coast, which they got this comfortable 21-0 lead, they're going to win this Class 5A District 9 here. So it's going to put them in the driver's seat heading into the Class 5A state playoffs and possibly still in the running to get the top seed in the region. So this game is pivotal when you're talking about winning the district championship. Nature Coast is who stands in Zephyrhills' way here, and in the second half, if they can kind of get something going and give them a little bit of a fight here, some things they could throw a wrench in everything. The Sharks kind of showed last week that resolve with the 64-57. I thought basketball season started a little early last week. If they can find that offensive rhythm they had last week, they can make this a game. But right now, the Bulldogs are staring at the district championship, and they got about 24 minutes to make that happen.
Yeah, that's right. If Nature Coast can come out here and make this a ball game and kind of flip the script in the second half, it's going to make it really interesting coming down the stretch too, because they'd be basically sharing records. Nature Coast would have the win over them.
Yeah.
So, the second half is really going to mean a lot in this District 9 race, for sure.
Absolutely. You got Hudson and Wesley Chapel playing on the other side, over in the east side of Pasco County. Wesley Chapel, I believe, is up big, 27-6 over Hudson. So that's kind of a shock to me. I had Hudson upending Wesley Chapel tonight in a kind of a more of a low-scoring game. But it looks like Wesley Chapel, since they've beaten Nature Coast, I believe that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they've really been a totally different team. So Wesley Chapel, for those who don't know, watch out. Since this team beat Nature Coast, they've been a team on fire. Someone who's going to have to get going here in the second half for Nature Coast, Christian Comer. Kid had 1,255 yards rushing heading into this game. He had 379 yards last week. I really expected him to have another big game here tonight against this Bulldogs team, even though their front seven is one of the best in the Tampa Bay area. But the Bulldogs have really limited him. 24 yards here in the first half. They've just really locked in on making sure he doesn't go off, and they're forcing the Sharks to be something that they're really not comfortable being, and that's a passing team.
Yeah, they have really plugged up the holes, that Bulldog defense, and not allowing him to run, get momentum. And, what the Sharks like to do with him, he's such a big kid, is they just like to beat down the defensive line. So later in the game, they can basically do whatever they want to do. Without him going, it really, like you said, puts a big wrench into their plans.
Yeah,
so things end up the way that they've been going here. Who do you have as the top team in Hernando County? We did see Nature Coast go into Hernando, do what they did. Last week we had Springstead and Central, which Springstead was able to manage just fine. 48-0, I think, was the final score there. We got Wiki Wachi up north. So, in your mind, Hernando County, who's the top team here?
Gosh, can we have a 1A, 1B, 1C?
Sure,
that's kind of what we're
sure.
looking at. We got Nature Coast, Hernando, Springstead. I think all three of them, put them in a jamboree, and I think you'd see one team each one I think will get a loss in some way. It's almost like matchups. Hernando beat Nature Coast. Springstead barely lost to Hernando in a 7-3 that Burger Bowl game.
Right.
Nature Coast against Springstead was tight. It's all over the place. I really don't know. I think the only thing for certain is Central and Wikiwachi are 4 and 5.
Yes.
So everything else, I don't think there's a clear team that you could say is way better than the rest. I think Hernando, Springstead, and Nature Coast are all. You could bracket them all together, really.
Any given Friday, either one could beat the other, and I think that's a fair assessment too. So, talking about Hernando County teams, what's the playoff race look like for them?
I mean, right now, Nature Coast, even in the position they're in right now tonight, they still have a great opportunity to go to the playoffs in Class 5A. In the recent FHSA RPI rankings, Nature Coast was in the top 8 in the region, and that's what you got to do to get into the postseason. You just got to be in the top 8, and they're in position right now. They just got to finish out this season strong. If they lose tonight, they still have an opportunity to win a couple more games and make the playoffs. And Hernando in Class 4A, they're kind of sitting pretty. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Those are your two teams right now. Springstead, I think, would have to really do something kind of incredible to really be able to go to the postseason. They got to beat Ocala Vanguard, which Vanguard is up 42-0 over Bellevue. So tough sledding.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Well, Andy, thank you for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the second half here. Nature Coast trailing Zephyrhills 21-0. We'll be right back here on the Gulf Coast Sports Network.